Good morning. Welcome. Yeah, this is the second day in December. Unbelievable. We're now on our last month in 2025. We made it that far. Today there's a lot of mixed reviews about the business license amendment. Of course, I wrote about it, and then I saw the Grant Thornton report, and I see other back and forth from other individuals in the country talking about it. And I think it's important for us to talk about this business license amendment. And I think, we brag a lot about our country progressing so well when the average Turks and Caicos Island is not doing well. Our country is developing more than the people. And I think one way for us to progress is for us to become entrepreneurs. And that's where the business license comes in. Everybody needs a business license to have a business. And so there are certain categories that are reserved. And the business license amendment that came out in June, I think they debated in the House in October, I believe, and it will come again in December, where they're going to increase to 100%. Now, at the time of this show, I'm hearing that now that they've made the changes again. And with that said, I wanted to invite someone on the show, the former premier. Of course, sometimes he and I don't agree on everything, and that's okay. I like to have the opposing views. And this is his first time on Financially Speaking. And we're going to talk about the business license. I wanted to dissect the Grant Thornton report because the Grant Thornton report is very misleading. It's inaccurate. It's not right. We're going to talk about that as well. And with that said, I want to welcome the former Premier, the Honorable Michael Mizik, to Financially Speaking. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much, Rex. Thanks for the invitation.
Yes.
And, it's a pleasure to be here with you. And as you said, it's my first time on your show. And keep up the good work that you're doing. Congratulations on all of the good work you're doing, not only in the show, but also writing and bringing important issues to public. You say sometimes we don't agree on things, but that's part of democracy.
Yes, yes.
We can agree to disagree without anyone being disagreeable.
Yes, yes. Now, the government had presented this business license amendment, because you know that there's quite a number of categories that are reserved for Turks and Caicos Island. But that means a Turks and Caicos Island can own 51%, and they could have a partner.
Yes.
And we know for sure that some fronting is going on.
Yes.
And a lot of Turks and Caicos Islands not even benefiting. And then they had proposed to increase the reserve categories and then make it 100%.
Yes.
And what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it was the right move?
Well, first, I think it's important to look back sometimes before we move forward. And the truth of the matter is that over the last years, particularly since the interim administration, our rights and privilege as belongers, or Turks and Caicos Islanders, has been step by step diluted. We were more protected, 20 years ago than we are today.
Yeah.
When you had a business license board, whereby anyone requiring a business license has to go to a board which is made up of individuals from South Caicos, from the whole country, and those members were politically appointed, and they ensure that the 51%, as we had it back then, and I believe still is, was
genuine,
enforced and genuine. What happens now is that anyone apply, it goes to the finance department, it's rubber stamp, and nobody knows who gets what until you see, and I see it in water sports. You see all of these young fellas with jet ski, but when you look behind the scene, where they take the jet ski at night, some expat yacht, right? So, fronting is real. And
now the business license does require to show proof that for the reserve category, they do require to show proof. And I think what's happening is they are showing proof, but I believe that there are side agreements.
Yeah, well,
because they have the company incorporated with the Turks and Caicos Island owns 51% in shares on paper.
Yes.
But I believe that there's side agreements.
For the sake of getting the business license.
Yes.
But to answer your direct question, I believe that the move to broaden the reserve category was a good one. I believe that the original move by the government to ensure that some of these reserve category, if not all, 100% owned. This is the only way that you're going to be able to alleviate fronting. Increasing it from 51% to 60% doesn't make a difference in terms of fronting. And
no, it doesn't make a difference.
Because it's still going to be fronting. Now, if I own 100%, then there's no room for fronting. Of course, you can always I can get a loan from you. You can invest in my business. We can have an arrangement where I give you a certain return on the investment you make in your business. Things like this that happens in other countries. And so moving it from 51% to 100% was a bold and progressive move. And I believe even at this 11th hour that the government should stick to this move. Because, Drex, every time there's something to empower our people, every time there's legislation to help our people, every time there's legislation to protect our people, to advance our people, there's always
a challenge.
A challenge from particularly the expat community, right? When there's legislation to increase the time for gun violence from 7 years to 12 years, or when there's legislation to penalize Turks and Caicos Islanders, no one come forward and say, hey, this is too harsh, right? But when there's something to protect us, they come forward and say, it's too good for us.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
I observed that.
Unfortunately, we have politicians who are spineless, who allow themselves to fall in the trap of compromising the principles, our principles, right? This country is ours.
Yeah.
Let us be honest.
So why do you think the politicians are behaving that way? Why do you think they're spineless? Why do you think they can't just make a decision and stick to it?
Well, one, either they're afraid.
Afraid of what?
Well, that's the question. Afraid, or they don't believe in it. They don't believe in us. Right? As DJ Keller said, they don't believe in us. Right? God did. They don't believe in us, right? And over the last 20 years, and you know, when as we progress, or as we, it seems as if you have politicians that care less and less about Turks and Caicos people, right? When there were people, you know, whether it was Skippins or other people, you know, Robert Hall or other people in the 80s and 90s, right? And even the 70s with Hedley Durham and Bob Francis and my father and Butterfield. These were men who stood up, right? But these young politicians or these new politicians seem to don't stand for anything, right? And so if you stand on your principles, say what you like about Donald Trump, right? His view of America is his view. Yeah. He's got a mandate for that. Yeah. And no one. Yeah. Right? They can huff, they can puff. No one is going to change his mind for America first.
And whatever he campaign on,
he's doing it.
He's trying to work with the
campaign. We campaign on Turks and Caicos Islanders first.
Yeah.
We campaign that we're going to have business license 100% for Turks and Caicos Islanders. I don't care what anybody say. If the government does not follow through with their promise, that is a promise that was made, a promise not kept, right? And I know that some of these politicians are not going to seek re-election, but at the end of the day, it's not about the election. It's about posterity. It's about looking out for our kids. Yeah. All right, especially those of us who are heritage Turks and Caicos Islander. Yeah. We're losing every day that the sun rises. We're losing our country. Yeah. Right, and the only way that we can ensure that our country is kept for us, and so that we can share it with others, instead of the other way around. Now it's theirs, and they're reluctant to share it with us. They don't want to share the beach. They don't want to share the business. They don't want to share anything with us. It's supposed to be the other way around, because this is our country. This is, as I said earlier this week to someone, this is the only place that you and I can live and have live free and have our rights. Yeah. Right. If you go to Barbados or the Bahamas, I'm a Turks and Caicos Islander. I don't have citizenship in no other country.
It's the only place. Right? The only place.
And today, as you can see the movement globally, every country is now looking within. Yeah. Right. The United States is supposed to be the gold standard, right? And they're sending people home. They're making America first. TikTok is a good example.
Yeah.
Right? Trump is saying TikTok has to be owned by Americans.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But when we say real estate has to be owned by Turks and Caicos Islanders, all of a sudden, as if we're committing a crime.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So and then you have weak politicians
Yeah.
who, instead of saying, hey, this is my position,
Yeah.
if you don't like the laws that we have here,
Yeah.
there are flights that leave every day, leave.
Yeah. We have to make a stand.
Nobody is compelling you to stay.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people who've come and who've made significant contribution, who've assimilated in the community, who means well. But there's also a lot of people who are only here to reap and rape our country.
Yeah. And it's very,
and they give nothing back.
It's very obvious.
They only want to take.
Yeah. Now, my position on the business license, right? And I wrote about it. I believe, and the government has to be very, very careful about the decisions they make today because it's going to impact us for the rest of our lives. I believe that, I believe we should increase the reserve categories. But I do believe that some of it should be some of it should at least be 51%, and some should be 100%.
Or
I don't
60%.
believe, or 60, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't believe that everything should be 100% because there are some business licenses that requires a lot of financing, and so the local may not have the money, so they can hopefully borrow the money from their partner. But businesses that don't require a lot of capital, like beauty salons, barbers, and stuff like that, small businesses, it should be 100%.
Well, yes.
It should be 100%.
And you and I agree on that. I haven't seen the categories, right? I understand they've expanded, but
I don't know what they expanded, but I know what the categories are now,
Yeah.
right? I could just run through quickly.
Yes.
Auto accessories, auto dealerships,
And these are 51%.
51%.
Okay.
Car wash, motorcycle, motor vehicle rental, motor vehicle sales, marine accessories, marine vessels for hire, less than 30 feet. Anything over then is open. Marine vessel sales, bakery, native art and craft, environmental sanitation, funeral homes, medical diagnosis. This is what we have in place now.
Yes.
Medical laboratory services, medical practice if it's less than 5 physicians, mental health services, pest control services, pharmacy services, sole practitioner, medical practice if it's just one person, dental, chiropractor, physiotherapy, veterinarian, all these are reserve categories. Barbershops, cleaning, maid services, dry cleaning, hair braiding, bus services, ground handling operation, jitney bus, taxi, trucking, VIP, alternative energy, gas and energy gas stations, petty contracts, small contracts, mediums. I must say with the contracting now, they have increased their large contractors now is reserved now as well. Maintenance, cleaning, dance hall, agency, bar, bicycle rentals, helicopter tours, marriage offices, land base, real estate agency, travel agency, water sports, water tours, less than 30 feet. Architectural firm is if it's 1 to 3 architects. If it's more than 3, then it's not reserved. Accounting firms up to 3. Courier services, custom brokerage, human resource management, law practices up to 3 lawyers, marketing, and these other miscellaneous stuff. So it's a very good category, and they plan to increase it. And I think we have to be very careful with that. We have to. I think some should be 100%.
Well, yes, some should be 100%. I mean, in fact, all of those should be 100%.
Yeah.
And this thing about law practice, well, up to 3, it should be legal firms and accounting firms should be owned by Turks and Caicos Islanders. And this thing again about boats up to 30, water sports should be reserved for Turks and Caicos Islanders only. Period.
Yeah.
All right. Boutiques. Period. All right. Drex, growing up in Providenciales. We've seen it right before our eyes. I remember when Hart's Capron had his big supermarket in Blue Hills. Butterfield had his supermarket downtown.
We had local people.
We had local people doing stuff. Now, look at the food industry. No Turks Islanders in it.
Yeah.
Right? None at all.
I think they got some silent partners, though. I think they got some people fronting.
Well, they may have. They may,
but we can't see the face of a local person.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, the point is this: people say, okay, well, you need foreign investor. Of course, you need capital, but if you're starting say you're starting a grocery store or even a convenience store, right? You don't have to start with 10 million.
No.
Right?
No.
If you look at all these Indians who are in the business, they didn't start. Look at GK.
Yeah.
They started with Howard little store, and they grow the business.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and they can also borrow. You can also borrow money.
You can also borrow money.
Yeah.
Right. But the point of the 100% is that let us be honest with ourselves. A person coming in from outside, of course, from a bigger world, may come with capital. Maybe they sold their home. Maybe they're able to borrow money in the States or elsewhere at a lesser rate. So they're coming in with the capital. Now, the problem is now if you allow them to open boutiques, restaurants, and all these businesses that should be reserved to Turks and Caicos Islanders, then you take that opportunity away from a Turks and Caicos Islander. Because if only me and you can compete, then the bank will say, okay, you know what? I can lend Drexel's money because I know that there's only 10 people in this business, and there's no risk of a foreigner coming in.
Yeah, and this is a good business. There's a demand for this type of services.
There's no risk of a foreigner coming in with $2-3 million and knocking the guy out of business.
Yeah.
Right. So, and there are so many examples of countries, right? Okay, the Arab countries, they have oil. Dubai, for example. But no matter who you are, if you want to do business in Dubai, you need a Dubai. Certain areas are reserved, but you need the Dubai citizens as a real partner.
Yeah.
And part of the problem that we've had over the years is that these people come in, they as I said, they show a partnership for the
on paper
for the business license. You start operating, then they treat you like an employee to start with, then they put you on salary. They control the books.
You didn't even see the books.
You never even see the books.
No.
And then they say, okay, hey, we need to buy another boat or another 2 or 4 jet skis. That's going to cost $100,000. How much are you putting up?
Yeah.
Well, boss, I don't have nothing to put up. Oh, I'm going to put up the money, but then that's going to dilute your shares.
Yeah.
Right? So at the end of the day, these people.
And that's reality.
And that's the reality.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we end up. I've seen it happen to so many people. I've seen it happen to Boogaloo. Right? Yeah. I've seen it happen to so many of our people, of our young people, of our middle-aged people who've been working, who think that they were in a real partnership. Right? And so it is the government's duty to protect our people from even against themselves.
Yeah.
Right? And this is what the 100% ownership will do. And as you say, I believe that the government should reconsider this thing with the 60-40. I believe that certain types of business should be reserved 100%, and then we can go to 60-40 for others that require, as you say, significant capital. And then if you want to build, if beaches want to build a sandals, of course, they can own their sandals.
And that I agree with you. I mean, someone just sent me where the government has sent a statement out, say they're going to change it to 60-40. 60-40 doesn't make a difference. 60-40 doesn't make a difference in my opinion. Some businesses should be 100%.
That's an example of a government that has lost its way, that is caving in to pressure from people who are not voters.
Yeah.
Right? And I saw the press release, which is hogwash.
Yeah.
Right? Because their intention was 100% ownership. Right? The deputy premier went on Parliament and gave this beautiful speech about this big, beautiful bill that is going that was transformative, that was going to change. So now you come back.
That was bull. That was radical. That's the word they used in the House.
Now you're going to come back and say, oh, it was an error?
No.
You think we're stupid?
No. It would have been better if they'd come back and say we can split it.
I come back and say, well, after consultation, we realized, right? I mean,
some will go 60. Some will go 100%. That's what they should have done.
Don't insult our intelligence.
No.
That you never intended 100%. Right? Cabinet don't make mistake. The cabinet decision was 100%. And after the intervention by some of the experts who of course have their interests at heart, the government seem now to go to 60-40. But I'm saying now it's not too late. Even at this 11 hour, okay, let's do 60-40 with some areas, but let us do 100% in the areas that we know matters.
Yeah.
Right? real estate, law, accounting, boutiques, retail, import. That's the other thing we have to do, right? Importation, right? And a lot of Caribbean countries, everybody can't import. You need an importer's license.
You need an importer's license here too.
But you need an importer's license.
But I don't know if it's open. I don't know if it's restricted.
Anyone can import.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So, and that should be, one, that should be restricted to Turks and Caicos Islands, and two, you should have to be a criteria to get an importer's license, right? And so,
well, it's not too late, and I know the government is watching this show. They need to change that.
Well,
they need to change it. But some businesses have to be 100%
owned, right? And so, as I said, the press release is more insulting than anything else, because you're telling us after the government, I think no one in the parliament and spoke out against the 100% in Parliament. No one from the opposition or the government. Everybody was.
Mind you, there was consultation, because I went to one of the meetings, and the majority of people in that meeting, even though a lot of people do not go to these meetings, a lot of the locals was saying 100%.
Yeah.
I went to the consultation. That was when Jay was the Minister of Finance. That's when this started.
Exactly. And so the point is, now don't come and tell us, it was an error by Cabinet, you want 60%, right?
No.
Why when it?
Now this is something that we need to speak out against.
Yeah.
No matter whether you voted for the government or not, this is something that people need to speak out against. We want some business categories to be 100%. Yes, you could have some 60, but we want some 100% as well.
Yes.
And the people need to speak out against it.
Yes. Because otherwise, it's going to be 60-40, and there's going to be no change.
There's not going to be no change.
No change. And you cannot be afraid of people threatening, or as a matter of fact, you say, well, if you do 100%, we're going to leave. As a matter of fact, if I was there, if you threaten to leave, I'll assist you.
But they can leave.
But if you threaten to leave, I'll assist you to leave.
But they're not going to leave. Right? That's what they say. Because teachers use that on us as well. They can close down.
Because they use that all the time, and we always cave in, right? And we made it before they came here.
Yeah.
And we'll make it.
Yeah.
If and when they leave.
I want us to talk about this Grant Thornton report, right?
Yes.
And I read this report, and I don't know if you guys have an opportunity to read that report. That report is full of errors. It's so inaccurate. One of the things that Grant Thornton wrote in the report is that it's going to restrict foreign direct investment, and say it's going to discourage international participation. That is so. The 100% that the government had initially proposed, it didn't include hotels.
Yes.
It didn't include condos. People can still come buy condos. Developers can still come here and build hotels. Yes. So I don't know what Grant Thornton is talking about. That is our major direct.
It don't include marinas. It don't include significant investment.
And that is our major foreign direct investment there. Condos. You can still come and buy land.
Yeah.
People can still buy condos. People can still build developments, still get the concession.
Yep.
That's not going to restrict nobody. That's our major developments right there.
My position has always been that, of course, hotels, we don't have the capital to spend $100 million building a hotel, but we can raise the capital to find $200,000 to have a boutique in the hotel.
Yes.
But what is happening is that they're building the hotel and they're having the boutique in the hotel.
Yeah.
They're building the hotel. They're doing water sports out of the hotel. They're building the hotel.
Yeah.
They want to provide their own transportation.
Yeah. All in one.
They're building the hotel. They want all their restaurants.
Yeah.
So they really, if it's left up to them, they only want us to be workers.
It's more like all-inclusive. Even though they're not selling themselves as all-inclusive, but they're providing all the services to
They just want us to be workers. As long as you work for them, oh, you're a nice guy. They pat you on the shoulder. You're a nice guy. But when you want to become an entrepreneur, you want to better yourself, better your family, better your country. All of a sudden, you become a threat.
Yeah.
And you become mocked, right?
Yeah.
But if you're into fronting and you get business license and let them operate and they pay you $1,000 or a couple of $1,000, and there's some of our people, you'd be surprised, who have 20 business license. Right?
Is that right?
Fronting. Just collecting a couple of $1,000s a month from each business license. So for them, they're making money. but they're not. But these people are making tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But they're not, and they're not looking at the damage you're doing to future generations.
Yeah.
Right. Because the advantage and the reason why this 100% is so good is that I believe the law grandfather existing business. But say, for example, if someone who has a business who is in the 100%, of course, they can operate their business because it's grandfathered. But if you sell it, now you have to sell it to a Turks and Caicos Islander. So that then now gives us an opportunity to get into businesses or get an ongoing concern that we wouldn't have had before.
Yeah.
Because if you notice what happens here in Turks, you have one expert that come buy a business, or start a business. They make money from that business.
Yeah.
They get tired or retire, and then they go back to England or to the United States, or their kids want to go to the boarding school, so they leave. Then they sell it to another expat who do the same thing until they get rich or richer, and then they sell it to another expat.
Yeah.
So
instead of saying let me have the employees and benefit, let them buy shares.
Let them buy shares in the company, or like I said, in the case of this 100%, if the government stand their ground, when they sell, they would have to sell to one of us.
Yeah.
But back to the Grant Thornton report, you're absolutely right.
It's misleading.
This report is full of self-interest.
Yeah.
Clearly, it was commissioned by some people who are against the bill, and you're an accountant, you know. I mean, they use Grant Thornton because it's an international firm,
and they say, it brings credibility.
But the person who wrote the report lives here, lives among us.
Oh wow!
All right, who's probably a senior partner in Grant Thornton, who this business, the government put accounting 100%. It affects him when he decides to sell. As you know, Grant Thornton used to be Coovis and Lybrand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you've seen through the years, so many of the senior partners come and go and get rich and come and go and get rich and come and go. Never a Turks and Caicos Islander, right? You're a senior accountant. Were you ever invited to be a partner in Coovis and Lybrand?
No.
Or Grant Thornton?
I got my own thing now.
Well,
but I hear what you're saying. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In
the Bahamas, that's very big.
There are other examples.
Yeah.
Right. In the Bahamas, every
you have to be a Bahamian.
Every Big Five firm. Senior partner.
But you have to be a Bahamian.
Is a Bahamian.
It's mandatory.
It's a Bahamian.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, a non-Bahamian cannot be a partner.
Yeah.
In the Bahamas.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine us doing that here now? Right?
They can take the government to court.
Right? And they have their own. They have their own judge now.
Yeah. Let me tell you something else. The reports say. The reports say that if foreign investment is scaled back, job growth can suffer and unemployment can rise. You see the bunch of foolishness?
Yeah. It's fear mongering.
They want to create fear.
Yeah.
And furthermore, let's be honest with ourselves. Every Turks and Caicos Islander should have a job. There should be no unemployment.
Exactly.
Even if the investment reduced, there should be no unemployment because we are bringing people in.
We have overemployment for us.
Yes.
All right.
We have about 18 to 20,000 people on work permits.
Yeah.
Come on now. Come on.
Yeah.
Whoever wrote this report, they think we're so ignorant, man. It's an insult to us, actually.
We have 25,000
work permit holders?
People on work permit. Right? There's 15,000 of us. We have 25,000 people on work permit.
Wow.
Right?
This report even mentioned, I could tell they ain't no number Turks and Caicos. They said that our main investors are the United Kingdom, Canada, how you pronounce this? Netherlands,
Holland.
That's who they say our main investors are.
Yeah.
They didn't even mention United States.
Yeah.
And they're saying that if this business license amendment is gone through, it will mess up or damage our relationships with these countries.
Well, I mean, I don't know any Dutch significant investor, maybe a Dutch person ever has.
Yeah, but
of course,
significant.
there's some Canadian
United
investors.
States and Canada are highest.
The highest is obviously United States and then Canada. In England, from England, there's probably only one or two investors. The rest of them are people who come here and have worked and, of course, made a good life here for themselves, which is fine. But the problem with them is that they don't want to share it.
No.
Right? And you have almost a cartel now with these people.
It's a network.
It's
a network.
And then they have, they have lawyers. Conrad Griffith is head of that network, who any issue you have, he will sue the government, right? They've made sure put people in place to.
The government is sure against solar.
That when they sue the government, that they always win,
Yeah.
right? And the Attorney General would not ask for people that she knows have a conflict of interest to recuse themselves in hearing somebody's government case. In the case of the 49, they wouldn't even appeal it. And so, but at the end of the day, we elect a government, right? And so while we can put blame on Attorney General, or even on
we elect the government, absolutely,
on the lawyers, right? The buck stops with the government.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so, as I used to tell the then governor, because sometimes they would say, oh, well, we have a problem with this or whatever. I said, look here, I may not have the power all the time to say yes, but I always have the power to say no. Because if something is not in the interest of Turks and Caicos Islanders, I'm not going to do it.
Yep.
I'm not going to agree to do it.
I mean, there's only a few of us.
I'm not going to put money.
My God, there's only a few of us on the boat.
But every time there's something that help us, especially in the last 5 years, we find a way to backtrack.
Yeah.
Right. Anytime there's something to hurt us, full speed ahead.
Yeah.
Tough love.
Yeah.
Right. Turks and Caicos Islanders got to learn.
Yeah.
Got to learn the hard way. But when it's time for us to get something the easy way, oh, it's too good for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And so the stuff like this will continue to happen.
Yeah.
Unless we have a political class.
Yeah.
Who's being elected to serve, who's willing to put their neck on the line, right? And you know, I campaigned hard last election. The majority of MPs are more interested in their job and securing a pension than representing the interests of Turks and Caicos Islanders.
Oh, that's sad.
All
That's
right?
very sad.
How many of them have you seen take a position on any important issue in this country? They don't rock the boat.
Yeah.
Their slogan is let's work along to get along. All right?
You know, I don't want to stray from the topic, but I want to say this. I think our politicians are taking us for granted. They know we probably don't have much choice in who we vote for, and they know we probably can't vote for them anyway, and they just take us for granted.
This is true.
They take us for granted.
This is true.
You know?
This is true.
So they think just giving us a stimulus will shut us up, and then that's it.
Yes.
But we need more than that.
Yes. Yes.
We need to be the movers and shakers of this country, and this business license amendment could be one way to help us to get there.
It was a step in the right direction.
Okay, that was one way to get there.
A step in the right direction.
Now, the report also mentioned that foreign investors often rely on local suppliers. Now, you know that's not true.
Yes.
That's not true. These foreign investors that come here, they import most of their stuff.
Everything.
I was speaking to a local contractor the other day. He said he spent hours putting up this contract, hours putting this proposal together, and he was rejected. They set him up.
Yes, of course.
To get his list of stuff. They use it, show it to their friends. Their friends bid lower.
Yeah.
They're not interested in us.
Yeah. And what we have to revert to rather, is this. You know, the government, Drex, has to lead by example. All right? And I remember when we came to office in 2002, 2003. I don't know if you remember this name, Dick Bell.
Of course I remember Dick Bell.
Right?
That's where they get all the supplies from. Yeah.
The government was getting all the supplies from Dick Bell
Mm-hmm.
and other people in Miami. And I'm like, this is crazy. Right? We have local people who can do this. And so you have to lead by example. All of the government contracts should be reserved for Turks Islanders only.
It's
right?
open. The government contract right now,
it's crazy.
It's open. Anybody could bid on it.
And one should be
we stop bidding on government
one
projects.
should be reserved for Turks and Caicos Islanders only. And the second thing is that it should be for people who had a business license and have a business license for a particular period.
Yes.
Right? So you can't, it is wrong for the government to put out this big contract. We've been here suffering all along, paying taxes. All right, and then some guy gonna fly in.
That's a very good point. I'm glad you brought that up.
Gonna fly in, make a bid, and get.
That's one thing I can say about you.
Get the contract and then when he finished, take
Yeah.
the money and go, and we still left here without the contract, paying our taxes.
That's one thing I can say about you.
Right.
When you became the premier, you made sure that locals was getting the contracts. I will say that about you. All right. Right now, they have this open thing where anybody can bid. For my wife and I, we don't bid on jobs anymore because our supplier that we get our stuff from could bid on the same thing.
Yeah.
So if our supplier bid on furniture, right? Who's gonna come in cheaper?
You can't
The
beat that.
supplier doesn't have a business license,
yeah.
but the supplier is awarded the contract, and then after they get the contract, they might
get a
try and get a
business
business
license.
license.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
It shouldn't happen.
This is the only country can happen like that.
It's open.
Yeah.
Everything is open.
Yeah.
And so people are not bidding anymore. You wonder why people don't bid? Because people are fed up. I don't bid on accounting jobs, and we don't bid on office supply. I just stop.
Yeah.
I'm not wasting my time. Because we know the outside is going to get bid on it, and they're going to come in lower. So we don't bid on it.
So there's so many things that we can do to empower our people. That is a prime example. If government, that alone will create.
I told them to change it.
Tons of.
I told them, you know what they told me when I told them to change it? Say value for money. That's what they use.
Value for money can't be justified by not empowering your people. If you have to pay a little bit more to empower, because you're going to get it back. You're going to get it back in taxes. You're going to get it back in growth for your people. You're going to get it back.
And our quotes will be a little bit higher than our supplier.
Of course, the supplier supplying all of the Caribbean.
They get the volume discount. They should not be allowed to bid on the job.
Period. And so again. Any policy, this goes way back to the 100%, any policy that helps to empower Turks and Caicos Islanders, in recent years, government has been either don't do it or reluctant to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Anything that suck it to us, they do it right away.
We have to be bold.
Right?
We have to be bold.
And this thing should have been passed months ago.
Yeah.
Right. The fact that
it was up from June, I think.
Yeah. The fact that they left it in the second or third reading, they left it there because there were people who had interests who made calls to say, look here, this is against our interests. And instead of this government saying, but this is in the interest of Turks and Caicos Islanders, and this time it's for Turks and Caicos Islanders, they
even if they say they need more time to review, don't come back and just say 60%. Come on now, have two sets of categories, 100% and one set 60%. Don't come back and tell us 60%. You might as well leave it as it is. From 51 to 60, you might as well leave it as it is.
9% is not going to make any material difference.
Come back and say, guys, we've reviewed this. We're going to have some categories 100%. We're going to have some categories 51% or 60.
60-40.
Let me tell you something else the report said, which I laugh about. The report say foreign investors bring advanced environmental practices. Can you believe that? We have someone building a little hotel in the Lower Bight out of containers.
Yeah.
And you say they bring advanced?
Yeah.
We had investors come here and convince the government to change to 12 stories.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
What advanced environment? This is insult to local people.
And we have investors who even today is digging up on the seabed.
You know what?
Creating, whether it's South Bank or Leeward, whatever, getting sand or stuff like that. But you let the Turks and Caicos Islanders, look at the guys at Sapodilla Bay who's only trying to make a living. He's trying to kick them off the beach. But yet still you have people who with backhoe on the beach on the seabed moving sand.
That's something.
Right? You have people. You have, and I'm not saying I'm against it, but again, you go to Grace Bay, almost every resort have a bar on the beach, on the sand.
And that's the point that Mr. Clyde Robertson brought up on the show.
Past the dune, right? A full restaurant, a full bar and restaurant. But these guys just have a little tent on the beach, and you want to kick them off? What the government needs to do is to. I'm not digressing, but it's important because it shows the biasness.
Yeah.
They need to buy that land in Choksan, build a proper facility like we did.
Well, they tried to buy the land.
Ricky's.
They tried to buy the land, but the owner took them to court.
Yeah,
and they lost the case.
But how could you?
The judge said that the government already has another piece of land.
But George,
by compulsory acquisition.
You're a sensible man.
Yeah.
The government could never lose a compulsory acquisition case because the government, if the government claim that this is in their national interest, who is a judge to go behind that decision, right? When we did the roads, when we did stuff, we do compulsory acquisition.
Yeah.
And with compulsory acquisition, all you have to do is to provide the equal value, either in cash or kind,
right,
to that person.
Right.
And that's it.
Right. But people are using the court system and they're winning.
Well, because
they're winning.
Because they have judges there that is doing the bidding.
Yeah. And this environment thing, and what I said about this environment thing is an insult to Turks and Caicos Islanders. Because what this report is telling me is that local investors are not upholding environmental standards. That's what the report is saying.
That's what it's saying.
Because they say foreign investors bring advanced environment, so locals are not. That's what that's saying.
That's exactly
it's an insult to us.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. And you know that's not true because
it's not true. The government sets the government sets the environmental standards.
But the criteria that they use for locals is much more harsh than they use for an expat, right? I give the Sapodilla Bay thing as an example, right? If you look at what they allow to happen in Leeward, and that's why there's a big problem on Grace Bay, and it's going to continue. All right, they allow these guys to put all these drone, we call it these drone out there, and every time you put one, the beach erode. Every time you put one, the beach erode. Instead of what has to happen, the government doing a whole study for why there's erosion, and the government taking ownership and corrective measures. Right? You can't leave it up to individual landowners because individual landowners have a vested interest.
Yeah.
Their interest is in having sand in front of their property.
Yeah.
They're not interested in sand in front of anybody else's property.
Yeah. So you are a lawyer, right? And we've seen all these cases going to the court. We even see, even when the government did this proposal for the business license, I understand they really got a letter from a lawyer letting them know that what they're doing is wrong. What do you think the government needs to do to be better prepared to win these cases in court? Because we've been losing.
Well, the first thing is that you need a new Attorney General.
We need a new Attorney General, but she's not the one in court.
No, she's the one.
Oh, she's representing.
The Attorney General is the one who is supposed to defend government action. Now, whether she's in court personally, she
the chambers is the AG chambers
is right, and so they're not doing a very good job at defending the government interests, in many cases, and in other cases they're bringing frivolous suit and they're losing, and then the other thing is that. Like I said, they know that there are a particular judge who the public perception is that he has a vested interest.
There's something going on.
And apparently all of these cases go before this particular judge, right? And so they should be asking this particular judge to be reclused from hearing any case involving the government. And then the other areas that then they have to appeal cases that the government loses, like in the case of the 49, which they did not appeal. And so
no, they appeal it, but they lost the appeal.
No, they did not appeal. Or maybe they appealed the second one.
Oh, okay.
No, they didn't appeal it.
Oh, they didn't appeal the 49. Sorry.
Yeah.
They appealed the Richard Sanker case.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But again, Drax, you cannot force, and my view is that you cannot force yourself on the people, okay?
Right, their personal views.
Not only your personal view, but if I go to move to St. Lucia, and the St. Lucian government don't want me there or don't want to give me citizenship, I respect their country, right? So these people want citizenship not for any good reason, right? Because really and truly, if you're investing and you have a PRC, you really secure. The difference between a PRC And citizenship is that you have the right to vote, and you have the right to
Acquire the crown land.
Crown land, right to get these business in
the reserve
in
category.
the reserve category, right? So these are the same so-called investors that Grant Thornton say come in with all this capital and so on and so forth, right? And as soon as they possibly can, they want the same advantage as the Turks and Caicos Islanders, and they're in a better position, and that is why some of these expat belongers, as I call them, right, it shows you where the interests lie, because what we're fighting for, the 100%, is probably going to benefit them.
It will benefit
more.
them. It will, because they are in a better financial position.
They have a better financial position to invest.
Yeah.
And in most cases, say a person who's leaving, who wants to sell their business, who do you think they're going to go look for first?
Yeah.
They're not coming to look for me and you.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to go look for. So, but our hope is that by doing that, at least it gives us at least we're competing against them.
Yeah, and hopefully it will force us to come together, because we need to come together.
And pool our resources.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
That's the other thing we as Turks and Caicos Islanders need to do. All of us want to say, well, this is mine. Right? Everybody want 100% of nothing, or 100% of 10%. It's better to own 10% of something big than 100% of something small. So we have to, and I see you made an attempt with this stimulus, and I was saying the same thing, right? Since they've been giving us stimulus, they probably give out $100 million worth of stimulus, right?
Probably.
We could have owned our own hotel.
The last one was $15 million.
Yeah. Right. We
give about 4 or 5.
We could have owned our own hotel.
Yeah.
If we say, you know what? Okay, we're going to take $500 from this, but the other 5 we're going to pool it.
Yeah.
And buy some property, do an investment, do something, right?
I mean, all that amount of people had, only about 30 people came together.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, only about 30 people.
Oh, that kind of buy.
Only 30 people came together. All that model on Facebook.
Yeah.
At least 300 people said yes, and at the end of the day, only 30 people put forward $1,000.
So that's not even enough for a deposit on.
No.
No. You had to give them the money back.
No, I'm still holding the money. I'm still holding the money and seeing what we could do.
You wait for the new stimulus.
Even if we could use it and get a loan or something to invest in something. Yeah. I'm not giving up on it. You know.
But again, that's a good example of if we pool our resources.
Yeah.
You know, what could happen? And you know, back to the issue at hand, that in 5 years, have this government not backtrack, this would have been their crowning glory, crowning jewel.
Yeah.
Right. And for the premier who's been in politics for a while, who I believe is his last term.
Yeah.
All right. This could have been a legacy. You're talking about Obamacare.
Yeah.
All right. This business license, 100% could have been the Washington Music effect.
That's a legacy. That's a legacy legislation. They could have.
And 50 years from now, generations will be saying, you know, I own my business because Washington Music government made sure that car wash was 100% owned.
Yeah.
That I was able to bring Jiffy car lube change here because the Washington Music government made sure that those areas were reserved for Turks and Caicos Islands and Turks and Caicos Islands only.
Yeah.
Right? Because you know what's going to happen next? The next phase of this thing is going to happen. You see Starbucks is coming.
Yeah.
Right? You know what's going to happen next if this thing is not managed properly? You're going to have a proliferation of fast food. Burger King, McDonald's.
It's on the way. If we don't do anything about it.
And who do you think is going to own them?
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to own them?
So let me just quickly read this honorable.
Who do you think is going to own them?
It ain't going to be owned by us.
All right then, okay.
So the government put this press release out just now, just before you came on the show. And I say this is not the answer, where they said that it became clear that 51% ownership requirement, right? 51% is now 60%, right? And they say the reason, let me see if I can find the reasons. They said aligns with the PMP manifesto to first is business. is meaningful island control, partnership-based equity, access to capital and expertise, avoidance of excessive debt burdens for local entrepreneurship, eliminates the impractical 100% proposed requirement, avoid harsh outcomes in succession, and preserves flexibility for genuine commercial partnership. That's the reason they say they put the 60-40. What are your thoughts on that? Our time is almost up. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, I think that's something that clearly over the last couple of weeks there's been a heated public debate about this, and obviously the government is caving to pressure from the expert community, and so they put this thing out to try to appease us. But as I said from the outset, this is more insulting to us than appeasement, because you're telling us that what we heard the deputy premier said, what we heard other members saying, supporting the 100%, that they were saying these things knowing that there was an error coming from cabinet, and everybody sat in cabinet talking about sat in parliament talking about 100%, right? No one said, oh, by the way, not even the Attorney General, oh, by the way, there's an error. Cabinet never decided 100%. Cabinet decided 60%. The bill, the draft bill, had 100% in it.
Yeah, it did.
Okay?
It did.
So
it
don't
did.
come to us with this nonsense.
Yeah.
Come and say that after you...
I think they've been under pressure.
After consultation,
Yeah.
after pressure...
No, the consultation was 100%.
After you've reconsidered, you've reconsidered your position, and now you think you want to go 60-40.
Yeah.
But don't tell us it was an error. All right? And I think, Drax, you and I, we should join forces to try to ensure that 100%, that some of these businesses are reserved 100%, and some is reserved 60-40. That is the compromise that I think we're willing to make.
I agree with you on that.
Right?
I agree with you on that.
Of course, if you say that, the argument is that if you make most of these businesses 100% is going to affect the economy, okay, then all right, let's do half 100% and half 60-40 then.
Or the business, we already have a lot of business on reserve category.
So make them.
So those that are already reserved, make them 100%.
Yeah.
And any new ones that they created, then they can do the 60-40.
Yeah.
That's what I think they should do.
That's what I agree with that completely.
You know?
I'm willing to make that compromise, but don't come to me. We said narcissistic talk of stupidness, right? Making us, because they're not only laughing at you, they're laughing at us.
Yeah.
Right, because you represent us.
Yeah.
And so they're taking all of us for a bunch of fools.
Yeah.
Right? And you're allowing them to do that by saying you made an error, or the decision that went to Parliament from Cabinet was an error, when you had a whole Cabinet meeting, a whole Parliament meeting.
Is that what they saying? They saying it's an error?
Well, read. Yeah, you haven't read the thing in
I ain't read all of it. No,
entirety.
No.
But they say that it was an error.
They shouldn't say that.
All right.
It wasn't an error. It was not an error. It was not an error. They probably didn't think about it thoroughly. They could say that. They could admit they didn't, But during the consultations, the locals say 100%. It was not an error.
Well, I don't want to be accused of saying things.
I don't know when the Parliament will meet. The same way they change from 100% to 60%. They could change again to two categories. One set of categories, 60%, and this is what the people of the Turks and Caicos need to demand from their leaders.
Yeah.
We're not taking that 60%. Some business licenses category need to be 100%.
No question about it.
And that's what you need to do. No, even if you work for the government, it doesn't matter if you work for them, because they're going to get voted out if they don't change this. So you might as well let them fix it right now. This does not make any sense. Some businesses need to be 100%. Some can be 60%.
Okay, look at what they say here.
Yeah, go ahead, read it.
As the draft bill evolved, it became clear that the existing 50% ownership requirement and outdated reserve business provisions no longer align with national development goals. However, incorrect drafting instructions resulted in the unintended inclusion of a blanket 100% ownership provision, which was identified during parliamentary scrutiny. The bill was therefore held in committee to enable correction.
Oh, wow.
All to allow full consideration of standing issues and support a balanced and consultative refinement process before finalizing the amendment.
Oh, no. No. They shouldn't say that because that's not true. They came to Parliament with 100%.
Yeah.
They spoke up. They brag about it. Because I remember Honorable Jamal saying he remember watching Invest TCI show where Honorable Gilmore said we need to make some bold, radical statement. Yeah. He said this is bull, 100%.
Yes.
Yes. But Honorable, we have to end the show right now. Our hour's up. But I'm going to give you some time to make some closing remarks, though. So I'd like you to do some closing remarks.
Thank you very much again. I end where we started. Again, thank you for having me on the show. And it's always a pleasure. Anytime I have an opportunity to talk about empowerment for our people, I'll take that opportunity. Anytime no matter my own personal situation, anytime I see where there's injustice being done, particularly to Turks and Caicos Islanders, I'm there to show up because as I say, it's important. It's important for us. It's important for our kids to say, like, when Turks and Caicos was being given away, where were you?
Yeah.
Where did you take a stand? Right? Did you take a stand? And I think there was a saying, I'm not sure it was Martin Luther King who says that, when good men remain silent, right? You have bad things happens.
Yeah.
Right? And so if we don't speak out, the government is supposed to be acting on our behalf. Then they assume
that everything is fine.
That we're in alignment and in agreement with what they're doing.
Silence means consent.
Right? But when you speak out, they call you a rebel. But at least we're a rebel with a cause, right? So again, thank you. And I take this opportunity as a Turks and Caicos Islander, as a former leader of this country, as a stalwart of the PNP, the governing party, as a brother of the Premier, to say that there's an opportunity to get this thing right. And while my own preference would be, if I was a Premier, I would not compromise and make it 100%, right? But I understand the rationale that someone can use to do 60-40 in some cases.
Yeah.
So I'm pleading to the powers that be. Let us not completely come off course. Let us make, as you said, the existing businesses that is in reserve category 100% for Turks and Caicos Islanders, including law firm and accounting firm. Take that three away, or in the case of boats, take if you're in the water sport business, it would be for Turks and Caicos Islanders. Yeah. Right? And then in some areas that you think require highly skilled, high capital, let's make it 60-40.
Yeah.
And then in certain areas like hotels or large investment, it's free for all.
Yeah.
But there has to be a mechanism in place where certain businesses are reserved for us and reserved for us only. If the government does not do it, they're on the wrong side of history, and history will judge them harshly for this.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And because we've lost our country.
Yeah.
And this is an opportunity with 100% for us to gain it back, gain some parts of it back.
Yeah.
And so, Mr. Premier and your cabinet, do the right thing by Turks and Caicos people. We just came from an election where they voted overwhelming for the PNP. They put their trust in you. I put my trust in you. I've asked people like others to support the PNP because I believe the PNP was the best party at the time.
Give them another chance.
Right? Give them another chance. In spite of some of my shortcomings or in relation to them, right? And at the end of this term, this government would have been in office for 9 years.
Yeah.
This is not a new government. This is a continuation, right? And while I'm at it, let us build some roads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let us build some roads. Important cars is not the issue.
Yeah.
Build roads. Let's get rid of the roundabout that's creating and bring lights. Okay.
Yeah.
Let us invest in our infrastructure. Let's build a new airport. Right. The private investment is leaving a public investment behind. Let us get it right with the hospital. Right. Let's create a health authority and let's run our hospital ourselves. Let's hire doctors. Bring doctors in. Why should we? Cayman is no better than us. Why should we have to send people to Cayman?
Yeah.
We could do the same thing Cayman.
We're spending more than $20 million a year.
We can do the same thing Cayman is doing. Instead of spending that money sending people abroad, let's spend that money hiring the best doctors that the world can afford. Right?
Yeah.
This government have a golden opportunity to do not only have the opportunity, and they had the money.
Yeah.
Right? When I came to office in 2003, our budget was 90 million.
Oh, is that?
Right?
Oh, okay.
Floyd and I grew to like 200 million or 250 million. Now it's over $500 million.
Yeah.
Right? And look what we did with hardly anything.
Yeah.
We built Leeward Highway, 4 lanes. Nothing has been done since then. We build the National Stadium. We do downtown Gus Library. Sometimes you have to remind people, because especially the young people, they see these things and they don't know how it get there. Right? And so let us use this opportunity this next 5 years to invest in Turks and Caicos Islanders. Right? Foreign investment will come and go.
Yeah.
I believe that when you look at the investment that's slated with the Moon Palace, or the Towers and Room, Ritz-Carlton, St. Regis,
St. Regis,
Hyatt Regency, the Waldorf. You have billions of dollars in construction.
Yeah.
All right? So now let us focus on us.
Yeah.
All right? We're ready to focus on the foreign investor. Thank you very much, George.
Thank you. I appreciate you, for coming on the show at the last minute. Thank you so much for the time, and it's been a very informative show, especially on the feedback that we get. And I really want to encourage the government to start listening to the people. You went to our homes. We saw you almost every day during the campaign for that vote. Now we hardly see you. I want you to go back to when imagine this is election going on. Listen to the people. Come to us, because what you're doing is not right. You need to go back to the drawing board, change that business license category. Have 2 categories, 60-40, and another category, 100%. We're not on you on this one, government. This can't work, Jackie said. This can't work. We need to have 2 categories. That's all we're asking you to do. The ones that you have now, change it to 100%. The new ones, you're creating it, then make it 60-40. Don't be threatened by Grant Thornton report. Grant Thornton report is useless. It's useless. It's not even worth the paper that is written on, because it's a weak report. We are the business license amendment does not exclude you foreign investors from building hotels. It's still open.
Yep.
It's open. Purchase of land is open. Purchase of a condo is open.
Purchase of homes, villas.
Purchase of homes are open. So this rubbish what the Grant Thornton report is saying. We are weak, guys. We are weak. We got to be strong. We got to be bold, because otherwise you're going to force a lot of us to do some things that we normally don't do. Because right now you guys get me hot. I'm passionate about the Turks and Caicos Islands. You don't want to see me. You don't want to see the real Drexwell. Change that bill. Have a great day.